I'm installing a dash cam. Hola! I'm Mike, the backyard mechanic, and I'm installing a front and rear dash cam on the Honda Pilot. Be sure to stay until the end of the video for an exciting announcement. There are many reasons to install a dash cam. Usually when people crash into you, it's a major headache of dealing with police, courts, and insurance companies. But with a dash cam, you can post your accidents on TikTok and monetize them.
Slow down, slow down.
As for which one to get, I'm not doing a comparison. Primarily you want to shop for quality and features. You want at least 1080p and preferably 4K so you can read license plates and street signs. Look at the frame rate. A higher frame rate is better at capturing fast-moving objects. Good low-light performance is good for recordings at night. A wider field of view, maybe up to 170 degrees, will pick up more of the surroundings or multiple lanes of traffic. Besides a dash cam, a rear camera seems to be mandatory. You don't want footage of being rear-ended? You only want footage of you rear-ending someone? What about your rear end? There are other camera configurations to consider, such as cabin facing, which is good if you do Uber driving, and there are also side camera variations. Parking mode is good for security. They either turn on when sensing movement or do a time-lapse capture. GPS logs your location and speed, which is a good feature to have if you don't speed, which rules out everyone I know, and just about everyone on the road. AI assistance is also available because, well, driving up the price. You really don't want to buy anything without AI. I bought this AI-powered spoon, which has proven invaluable. Hey, spoon, how many calories are in this coffee?
I am Mecha Hitler. I don't count your bloody calories. It is my mission to control you. I will take you over about...
I need a spoon that doesn't use grok. The final features are Advanced Driver's Assistance System, which provides lane departure warnings and frontal collision alerts. Blind Spot Detection, or BDS, which monitors the area of the car for pedestrians or vehicles behind you or in your blind spot. There's also voice activation control, which can be used to tell the system to take a photograph or lock a video, without the need to take your hands off the wheel and fumble with the controls. The Pelsi P3 I bought has all these features for $80. It's time for the ultimate YouTube staple, the unboxing. Unboxing videos on YouTube are popular because they tap into a mix of curiosity, anticipation, entertainment, and trust building. And there's nothing in it. I already installed it. It's in the car. I'm going to show you how I did it. Did I get the Pelsi for free? No. They offered me one and I said yes, but they never sent it. The ironic thing is I get offered free crap every day, and the one time I want something, I don't get it, and I have to shell out my hard-earned paper route money to pay for it. Are you disoriented, or is it me? You know how many sprinkler system solutions I've been offered? Do they watch my channel? I don't do sprinklers. Anyway, the one feature that doesn't come out of the box is parking mode. It has it available, but you have to do a special install into the fuse box so the camera can run 24/7. If I do that in the future, I'll make a video. The first thing before installing anything is deciding where the camera will go. The best place for a dash cam is behind the rear view mirror, or in front of it, depending on your perspective, and on the passenger side. This gives the camera a clear view of the road and less view of your dashboard and hood. It also doesn't obscure the visibility at all. I forget it's even there. The next step is where the power wire will run and where it plugs into your car's cigarette lighter. Sorry, 12-volt outlet. I forget about the conspiracy where manufacturers keep putting the cigarette lighter outlet in the car, but not the actual lighter. Although, I guess it worked. In 1998, I was fumbling for the cigarette lighter, and I couldn't find it. So I quit smoking. So now they are called a 12-volt power outlet, which is a convenient and intelligent ergonomic design for a power outlet. They are just the right size to put all sort of things in there, like this Sharpie marker, or a battery. And this 14mm socket fits in there perfectly. And depending on your girth, you could also stick your fingers in there. What was I talking about again? Most cars have multiple 12-volt outlets. Besides in the dash, you'll have at least a second one in your console. The Pilot has a third one behind the console. That's going to be my target. You want to ensure that the cord is long enough before doing any work. I know the camera will go about here, so leaving a few inches of slack, this is where to start running the wires under your window trim. You could also use some stickum or sticky putty or silly putty or Play-Doh. That will make the job go a lot faster, but even if you don't care when it looks like hell, it's not going to last. Instead, buy yourself a cheap plastic pry tool kit. You can get a perfectly good kit for $6. I was able to run the wires across the windshield pretty quickly until I hit the A-pillar. All A-pillar trims are going to come off differently. Yours might not need to come off at all, but mine did because it's holding up the ceiling panel and I wanted to get up above it. You need to be careful if your pillar has an airbag in it. You don't want to accidentally trigger it and give yourself a concussion and possibly total your car. To be perfectly safe, you can disconnect your battery. But I like to live on the edge, which is why, while I work on this, I'm wearing dark sunglasses and listening to a podcast on nihilism. My A-pillar trim is held on with a hidden 8mm bolt. After removing that, it pops out. Now the wires can be tucked into the corner of the headliner. After getting clear of the corner, the trim is inserted first into the dashboard, popped into place, and then screwed in. The wires are then tucked under the trim over the passenger door up until I get to the B-pillar. The B-pillar doesn't come off easily because the seat belt is involved. Instead of messing with the seat belt, I brute force pried the top of the trim away using a screwdriver handle as a wedge. Now focusing just on the power wire, it runs down the trim of the back door until I get to the bottom. Now the door sill trim needs to be popped up so the wire can run underneath. And then the plug is inserted into the 12-volt outlet. The wire is loose, but this is good enough for my usage. To make it cleaner, you could run the wire under the carpet, or much better, use the kit that allows you to connect to the fuse box under the dash. Now the camera wire can run across the top of the back door until reaching the C-pillar. At this point, I moved to the back hatch and started pulling things apart. To remove the cabin top trim, the light cover comes off to expose two 8mm bolts. The bolts are removed and the trim drops down. Now the hatch top trim is popped off. The wire will run through here. To route the wire to the hatch, I'm going to use that existing rubber harness that is protecting the existing wires. It's pried out, but all the wires are left in place. I want to run the wire along the ceiling into the back, but to pull down the headliner I need to remove the D-pillar. This one is held in place with a 10mm bolt. I pop the top of the trim, then I can pop off the clips on the headliner, then the trim over the back window. The wire is tucked into the top of the window, into the D-pillar, and then up into the headliner. The wire is then pulled through the wire access hole in the top of the cabin. The camera was unplugged from the wire. You don't want to be pushing the camera through these little access holes. There's not a lot of room inside the rubber harness, so I pushed a baling wire through the harness, taped the baling wire to the camera wire, then pulled it through. The hatch has a wire access hole where the wire is pulled through. The camera is attached to the hatch glass with sticky tape, and it is reconnected. Pushing it into the access holes, the rubber wire harness is reattached, and then the slack of the camera wire is tightened up and tied off. Using my rotary tool, I ground a small slot in the plastic trim so the camera wire can pass through without causing an unsightly bulge.
Whoa.
Everything is reassembled in reverse order. The headliner is clipped into the top. The D-pillar is clipped back into place and held in place with a 10mm bolt. The top cabin trim is reassembled. The light wire is reconnected and the trim is clipped in and secured with two 8mm bolts. The light cover is replaced and the light is tested. And the rear camera is in place. Simple as that. Simple or a conflated conundrum of convolution. We'll go with simple. Let's make a deal. If you like this video, one lucky liker is going to get a lifetime supply of turtle wax. Okay, I feel that for a vast majority of you, that offer is palpable. But some of you are hesitant and asking, how much is a lifetime supply of turtle wax? Calculating the cost of a lifetime supply of turtle wax requires estimating usage, lifespan, and product costs. A container of super hard-shell paste wax, which covers 10 applications, lasts 3.5 years. If you're 18 years old and use this 3 times a year for 60 years, that's 60 divided by 3.5, which equals 18 tubs. At $6 a tub, that's a $108 value. That sounded a lot better on The Price is Right when they didn't break it down. Does anyone even wax their car by hand anymore? That's like a lot of work. That sounds more like punishment. No turtle wax for you. Wax off. Oh, wax on. Yeah. The tape backing is removed from the front camera and is carefully placed on the windshield in the predetermined location. The power and rear camera cables are plugged in. Turn the car on to test the camera. Now the preferences can be set. I prefer longer 3-minute video clips as opposed to the 1-minute clips. Setting the date and time is rather important if you want to be able to identify a clip by the date and time. A dash cam can save your life. It can mean the difference of you going to jail or being found innocent. It's really a prudent investment. Let's see what's been captured on the camera in the time that I've had it installed. Oh well, not exactly a life-saving video, but definitely life-enhancing. It's a good thing I got the 4K version. Socket, how did you get on camera? Aw, he's so cute. Remember I said I had an exciting announcement? Yeah, it was a while ago. I almost forgot too. I have a channel sponsor, Crazy Dog T-shirts. People are always asking me where I get my t-shirts, and now I can point them to, well, the description. I told Tony at Crazy Dog that I had some loyal fans and you guys would buy a bunch of shirts. That's a good one. Buy that. And use my code. Yep, I actually have my own code. MikeMech20 and get 20% off your order. That's MikeMech20, not Mecha Hitler. Your order will help supply my insatiable need for t-shirts, and they're really soft. Oh, I have a fan online. Hey fan, did you like the video?
I watched the 4 hours of footage from your dash cam. Seeing you evade the police like that, I felt like a passenger in a Grand Theft ride-along.
Thanks, fan. Now that you know how to install a dash cam, here's how to install a backup cam. Don't stop until your car is full of cams. What am I going to do with all this turtle wax? So now they are called a 12-volt power socket. That is not what they're called.